What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, bringing you a Fossil Cup team that is going to absolutely break the meta and make it feel a whole lot less RPS. That's because I'm using Melmetal as my lead, and Melmetal can provide so much flexibility with the combination of Thundershock, Thunderbolt, and Superpower, because a lot of the times when you bring in your Gyarados, which is normally my safe swap, you're going to be luring out things like Pelipper, which is a flying and water type, which means you can Thundershock it down, leave with a ton of energy, and there's not anything that's going to be resisting both Thunderbolt and Superpower. In fact, most things are going to be taking super effective damage from at least one of those two attacks. So Melmetal is going to provide a lot of flexibility. It's going to get you that shield advantage or switch advantage, one or the other. So like right here, we're going for the Superpower up against a Escavalier, but this would do so much damage that they do have to shield it up. And then in the back, of course, is going to be the Registeel. So Registeel did have a little bit of energy here, but we will be able to make it to this first Hydro Cannon first. Blastoise is slow with the combination of Water Gun and Hydro Cannon, but not as slow as people think. And a lot of people don't know the counts on Blastoise, so I've definitely been able to get to more Hydro Cannons than I should have been able to, just because people don't realize how quickly you get there, even though it's not that quickly. So we're going to be able to connect with that Hydro Cannon. They are out of shields. I still have one more shield, so I can safely shield up this next Zap Cannon, and then they're going to be trying to catch, I believe. I'm not sure if that's what they were going for. Either way, I'm going to build up a little extra energy. I want to clear those debuffs, so I come in with my Melmetal, going for the Superpower. Oh my goodness, that does so much neutral damage, and we have the Hydro stored, so this will be taking out the Escavalier. Registeel is pretty low health. They don't have a lot of energy. Can I farm down before they get to the next Zap Cannon? They're in the red, and yes, we get the farm down. That's a GG's. Well played to my opponent. So the idea, of course, Blastoise, Gyarados both have a lot of fast move pressure. And once you get those shields down, they also both have pretty hard hitting moves since that Gyarados is Shadow. By the way, you're definitely going to want the Shadow Gyarados on this team because it can 2-shield and win against Registeel even if they're going straight Zap Cannon, which is absolutely ridiculous. The regular version cannot, unfortunately, but the Shadow version does, and you're going to be surviving it with like 60 to 70% HP remaining since the lock-ons don't do much damage. So yeah, you're going to have 2-shield advantage, you're going to have some energy, and you're going to have a ton of health left on that Gyarados. So that was really the inspiration for this team. And I almost built a Registeel to try it out, but then I was like, you know, with Melmetal, at least you can Thundershock down the Pelipers, and it's going to be doing super effective damage all the time to things like Jellicent, which is the most common lead in my experience, at least. So I mean, it's just phenomenal. It's been phenomenal for me. I've ran this for 5 sets today, all 5 sets, and I went positive in 4 out of the 5. The other one was a 2-3. However, it should have been a 3-2, but I got Niantic. I lagged out on a Thunderbolt that I was throwing into a Ludicolo, and it did no damage. So it was pretty unfortunate, but it definitely lost me the game. Now, I don't know for sure that I would have won that game. The game was not over by any means. They still had a Registeel alive, so it would have been challenging, but there was definitely a possibility that would have been a positive set as well. All right, so Escavalier coming in. All the guys are Aerial Ace. Nobody's running Mega Horn right now. Nobody's running Mega Horn on their Escavalier, and I don't understand it because, like, Mega Horn just hits so hard, even when it's resisted. It's better than Aerial Ace. It's a lot better than Acid Spray, which is what most people are running. Just run Mega Horn if you're running that. I don't know. All right, so Registeel leads. So this is where we get to see some fun, right? You're going to be swapping in Gyarados, which seems kind of counterintuitive, right? They have Zap Cannon, but like I said, you can 2-shield your way through it. A lot of times they're going to either come in with a Jellicent like they did here, which you'll be able to get a shield advantage, or they're going to come in with Pelipper. So you will see a Pelipper matchup later on in this video. I think that's going to be the most common team. It's going to be Registeel, Pelipper, and then Jellicent actually in the back. And yeah, you'll see that team in this video for sure. Alright, so now I can come in with my shield advantage, come in with my Melmetal. I will have to eat a Shadow Ball, I believe. Did they make it to the Shadow Ball? We'll survive it if they did, and they go for the Bubble Beam bait anyways. So now I can overfarm by a little bit, go for the Thunderbolt, and this is why you really want Thunderbolt, not Rock Slide. Rock Slide would not do it from this range. So we take them out with the Thunderbolt. We're only one Thundershock away from the next superpower, so we might as well throw it, right? It's going to do big damage to the Registeel, puts them at half health. We can come in now with the Blastoise. Oh, and actually they do have Pelipper in the back, which I don't know why they didn't come in with the Pelipper in the first place. I mean, I guess you do what you want. You do what you want, right? But that's where it's really nice that Blastoise does have the Ice Beam, and we can tank. I mean, we can't really tank a Hurricane, but I could Thundershock down and have energy for that Registeel, and they bait anyway. So that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Alright, into the next one, Melmetal into a Shadow Swampert. So, not necessarily something you want to see. We're going to actually come in with Blastoise. Now, the Mud Boys, that's pretty much the only time that I'm going to come in with Blastoise versus Gyarados, because of I mean, you kind of wall them with Gyarados, unless it's a Quagsire, right? Quagsire can hit Gyarados for super effective with Stone Edge, so in that case, still coming with Gyarados, and hopefully Blastoise can sweep in the end. But in this situation, we came in with Blastoise. We're going to get to this Ice Beam here. It connects, but it doesn't KO the Gyarados, unfortunately. I really thought it was going to KO. I was a little bit upset that it didn't, but that's all right. Again, we can come in with Melmetal. We can Thundershock down. We can easily tank whatever they throw here. It is going to be the Crunch, and they do get the defense drop, which is a little unfortunate, so I do need to swap out immediately. Swampert coming back in the back. They have a Shadow Magneton. I love the Spice. Very, very cool team. My opponent is running here. A little bit sad that their Gyarados wasn't Shadow, because then they would have had triple Shadows. But I mean, the waterfall pressure is just too oppressive here. We're going to actually be able to shield up this Discharge and just farm all the way down. We have the Aqua Tail ready to go. We can shield up this Hydro Cannon right here, and then we will just need to throw this Aqua Tail. It's going to be plenty to take out this Swampert, or at least very, very close. I'm not sure. Does it take it out? Yeah, it does take it out, which is, again, ridiculous, because that Swampert was at almost half health, and it takes them out. It's a 35 energy move. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Love the team. But unfortunately, Shadow Gyarados just too good, despite the fact that it was taking double super effective damage from the Thunder Shocks. Alright, another Registeel lead, so we're going to be swapping out into Gyarados, going straight for the Aqua Tail, and they're going to be staying in, which is not uncommon, right? A lot of times they want to get the shield off of you. I always go immediately for the Aqua Tail. Reason being is it puts them in Water Gun down range with one shield left for Blastoise. Now they're coming in with Jellicent, so this might be the same team we saw before, right? It might still be Pelipper in the back. That's what I'm going to assume, since I had seen that team several times already today. So Shadow Ball does come through, takes out my Gyarados. I'm coming in now with my Melmetal. I'm going to overfarm just by a little bit here. I know I can tank one Shadow Ball, so do they throw the Shadow Ball? Yeah, they actually do throw the Shadow Ball. Good job by my opponent. But I can overfarm but just by a little bit and go for the Thunderbolt. I want to definitely throw before they get to the Bubble Beam, just because it will do that little bit of chip damage that makes it uncomfortable. In the back, my opponent actually has a Scavalier, so they throw immediately here. So that means that's either an Acid Spray or a Drill Run. It's not a Mega Horn. We don't need to fear it, and it's the Acid Spray. So no shooting an Acid Spray always feels so good. We're getting off the Hydro Cannon right here. And yeah, like I said, Blastoise, not the quickest to get into charge moves, but we're making it at the same pace this Scavalier is, so that's going to be good enough. We can show up this next Acid Spray just in case it was a Drill Run, and go for the next Hydro Cannon. This will be playing to take out the Scavalier. All they have left is the Registeel. Like I said, pretty much in Water Gun down range, but they would outpace us. I end up swapping, which questionable. I probably should have forced them to throw their energy, but regardless, we make it to the superpower. That's going to take out the Registeel. My Melmetal just asserting its Steel type dominance. You love to see it. Let's go. All right, up against a Pelipper lead. So beautiful lead. They're going to be swapping out into Lantern now. We got two water types in the back that don't want to see this Lantern, so we will be staying in here. However, we need to keep this Melmetal healthy enough to be able to deal with that Pelipper late game. So I'm going to throw the first Thunderbolt. Does about half of the Lantern's HP, and we will be shooting up the potential Hydro Pump here. It is the Thunderbolt bait. Good bait by my opponent. Now I'm going to build up to the back-to-back superpowers. I'm expecting a shield here but I'm okay with that because the first one gets the shield. The second one's going to do some nice chip damage. It's not going to KO, but I'm going to put a lot of faith here in my Blastoise. So Blastoise coming in, trying to water gun down. They make it to a Thunderbolt, but I'm like, Blastoise, you're thick. Survive it, and yep, Blastoise does it, no problem. We got quite a bit of energy left on Blastoise, and we have an Ice Beam ready to go for this Pelipper when it comes in. So this is going to do a lot of neutral damage. Pelipper not very bulky, puts them into the yellow. I can come back in with Melmetal now. Our switch clocks are way misaligned, so I am going to wait until my clock says 0. And then I'm going to be coming in. In the back, they have a Lucario. And so I'm so thankful that I wait out my switch clock, because now I can throw this superpower and then dip into my Gyarados. These waterfalls are going to do huge damage. They actually throw the pup. I think they panicked here. Because yeah, I mean, it was definitely a pup. It could not have been a Shadow Ball. Maybe it could have been close combat, but I think we would have been fine with close combat. Maybe? I think so. So I can go ahead and show up this next one. Again, it's just a pup, but we got energy now on Gyarados. We could just crunch this Pelipper, and that's going to be a GG's. They should be planning to take out the Pelipper. I mean, Pelipper just can't tank it, right? So now we have Gyarados just asserting its water flying type dominance against Pelipper. All right, into the next one. Up against a Swampert. So we've seen this is where I will bring in my Blastoise, and they're going to be answering with Araquanid, and I don't have Skull Bash, which is pretty bad because potentially with Skull Bash we could win this matchup. Without it, there's just no hope. I mean, these Hydro Cannons do absolutely nothing. They haven't even Bubble Beam me yet, and they can easily survive 4 Hydro Cannons, which is nuts, right? That thing's stat product is ridiculous. We're still going to make it. No, we don't actually make it. We don't make it to the next Hydro Cannon, which is unfortunate. We're going to come in now with Melmetal, be doing super effective damage with the Thunder Shocks, but they're not doing a whole lot. This thing's definitely not going to be something that I can farm down. So I'm going to overfarm by a little bit. And then I think I try to go for the superpower. I know it's resisted. I know they've thrown 2 bubble beams at me. I know it's non-stab, but I'm like, it's a superpower, right? We built to 100 energy. We're going for the superpower. Surely this will take them out. But no, they survive with quite a bit of health. We come in now with Gyarados. I know this is just a bubble beam, so I'm going to go ahead and tank it. It's unfortunate though, because it is dropping my attack. Still, we have 2 shields in the Gyarados. They're coming in now with a Jellicent, and I'm going to overfarm and go for the crunch right here. This will still hit very, very hard into this Jellicent if they no shield. They do respect it. They throw up a shield. Now I have to respect the Shadow Ball. I expect a Bubble Beam bait, but I have to respect it, and yeah, I get baited. Feels bad. Now my attack is down by 2 stages, and I kind of have to shield up this one in case it's the Shadow Ball, and it is the Shadow Ball. So at least that was a good shield, but we are not looking great. Still, coming in with Melmetal, going for the snipe. They do still have a shield, but we're going to get off this Thunderbolt, which should get the last shield. No, they actually let it go. They're coming in with Swampert. We make it to the superpower, which forces them to throw their energy. This is huge for me. Swampert doesn't have a ton of energy, but Gyarados does. So we're going here for the first Aqua Tail, and then I'm going to be going for the crunch once we get the shield off, but they actually call the Aqua Tail, which is absolutely massive, and they're going to get this Hydro Cannon off. I don't have a shield. I don't think that the crunch would have happened anyways, so like GG's, well played, but that call was definitely big. All right, into the next one. What do you know? It's another Registeel lead. It's like this thing's super common or something. Going for the Aqua Tail immediately, just like I have done previously. We want to get them in to Water Gun downrange, and then yes, here's the Pelipper. You already know what's going to be in the back, right? It should be a Jellicent. That's what we're going to expect at least. And we're going to go ahead and take this Weather Ball now. They normally do just go straight for the Weather Ball, because of its plenty to take out my Gyarados. I go for the bait there, hoping that I can get to a crunch afterwards. We're just gonna make it, no, not even to another Aqua Tail. So not worth baiting. Should have just gone for the crunch, potentially got the defense drop. But it is what it is. We will eat a Weather Ball here. They have quite a bit of energy on this Pelipper. I still want to get the farm down here though. Even if I have to give up a shield or do something strange, I want to get the farm down. But you can see they're already at the next Weather Ball right here. So I do have to go ahead and swap out to catch. I think all that energy on Melmetal should be very good, right? If they have Registeel and they have Jellicent, we're going to be chilling, right? We'll be fine. So I expected to see the Jellicent here. Blastoise actually does pretty well against Jellicent, despite the fact that they're resisting everything that we throw. They actually come in with the Melmetal, so this is interesting. I'm wondering, are they weak to water types in the back? Is it not Jellicent? Going for the Hydro Cannon, and they showed it up, which pretty much tells me, yeah, you're weak to water in the back, and then, nope, they swap out into Jellicent, which I'm like, cool. You gave me your shield, I'm gonna Thunderbolt your Jellicent. It does so much damage to them, and they are forced to throw now. I think this is a Bubble Beam. We will survive, but not very well, which is perfectly fine by me, because now I can basically build up to 2 Hydro Cannons, go ahead and take out this Jellicent. I didn't want to get Bubble Beamed. I guess in hindsight, a Bubble Beam wouldn't matter so much, but we're at the next Hydro Cannon. We still got a shield, even if they were at the Zap, and that's gonna be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Like I said, like this team can just dunk on that team. I did lose to it once. But it was just a horrible misplay on my part. I actually don't. I meant to include that in here. I guess it didn't make it. I guess the video got too long and I didn't get it in here. But I did want to show some mistakes. But is what it is. We're going to be playing out this Melmetal matchup one more time. Maybe this is it, actually. We'll see. We'll see. So, shielding up the Zap right here. They're going to be building up some more energy, and I overfarm, go for another Aqua Tail. Seems like they're actually staying in this matchup, which is strange. I don't see that very often, but I'm okay with it because we do get a shield right there. Again, I could have shielded up and just had all this health, but they do end up swapping out into Jellicent. So going for the crunch here, we are 1 stage debuff, but this is going to definitely put the hurt on, puts them into the yellow, and now they're forced to throw their Shadow Ball. So Shadow Ball should be coming through right here. Yes, it does. I can come in now with Melmetal. It's kind of an awkward situation because they're not in Thundershock downrange. I don't really want to superpower a Ghost. And I'm expecting Pelipper in the back, so I get a little cheeky here. I try to catch the Shadow Ball. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and sack this Blastoise. I've seen this team 100 times at this point. I know what's in the back. We're going to play this differently. So, they overfarm. I actually get the Hydro Cannon and the shield right there, which is beautiful. And now I'm just going to let this Blastoise go because there's a Pelipper in the back, right? Surely there's a Pelipper in the back. No, it's actually going to be an Escavalier. But you know what? Melmetal's got so much energy. Melmetal's a beast. We're not even worried about this. Thunderbolt comes through, puts them deep into the yellow. Superpower going to be plenty to take out this Escavalier. All they have left is the Registeel. I still got a shield. All I gotta do is get to, well, I guess they have 2 Pokemon, right? They have something to catch with. Regardless, I can just shield up the Zap or Focus Blast here, make it easily to the Superpower. I actually overfarmed by a little bit because that Jellicent is still alive. I wasn't sure if they were easy Thundershock downrange. In case I needed a Superpower for them, I do overfarm, but you're going to see they go down to Thundershocks, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button while you're down there as well, and leave a comment. How have you been enjoying Fossil Cup? Has it seemed super RPS to you? And if so, will you be trying out this team yourself? That's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.